NASA just drops the mother of all bombshells, and the mainstream media buried it faster than a cat covers its own shit. They finally admitted it. We never went to the moon. The Apollo landings, total Hollywood production. Stanley Kubrick's greatest hits, filmed on a soundstage with better lighting than your narcissistic ex's Instagram. Insiders in the space industry have known this for decades. Rocket scientists whisper it in bars. Engineers laugh about the Van Allen belts over coffee. Yet the official story still stands. And anybody who questions it gets labelled a tinfoil lunatic. So why now, after 50 plus years, is NASA suddenly spilling the beans? And why is the world still asleep? Here's the truth, plain and brutal. No human has ever been beyond 1,200 miles above Earth. Not in 1969, not in 2025. Not American, Russian, Chinese, ancient Egyptian, nobody. Low Earth orbit is the ceiling, always has been. Except supposedly for 12 guys who blasted 240,000 miles to the moon and back 6 times, using a computer weaker than the chip in your toaster. In 1969, when colour television was still a flex, and microwaves weren't a thing. Fast forward 55 years, and your phone has more raw power than every computer on Earth did back then. Every computer on Earth combined. We've got reusable rockets landing themselves like it's nothing. And NASA excuse for never going back? We lost the technology. Poof, gone. Apparently it was destroyed. But they won't tell us why or how.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. The only limit to a human future is in our own imagination.
Seems legit. But it gets even worse. For decades, every serious researcher begged NASA, let us study the original Apollo 11 telemetry tapes. NASA's first answer, oops, we lost them. 2,000 priceless reels, gone. Then the story flipped. Actually, we raised them and reused the tapes to save a few bucks during budget cuts. The only existing video of mankind's greatest achievement, recorded over with routine satellite data because the agency was a little short on cash. That was their official line. Let that sink in.
Here goes Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, step down on the moon, right? One giant step for all of us. Most amazing stories watched by, you know how many people? 600 million people.
And we're getting a picture on the TV.
We all know them. They're blurry. They're really terrible. You look at them and you're like, they're ghosts. You can kind of see through them. And it's why there's controversy about the moon landing in the first place, because people are like, they faked it. Look at it. It's like bad special effects. You know what they think happened to the original moon tapes? Is they might have been taped over. Taped over, right? It's not a cassette, it's not an old mixtape from college. And I do want to tell you, my great mixtapes, you know, there was Melty Fresh, Belle Biv de Melts, Please Melts, Don't Hurt 'Em. Those tapes were precious to me. I still didn't tape them over. These are the moon landings.
Apparently, they've since found the original tapes in a suburban garden shed in Las Vegas. Conveniently for NASA, they weren't found in a Hollywood basement used by Stanley Kubrick. Because let's face it, how likely is it that NASA would actually tape over the original footage of mankind's greatest achievements? Because of budget cuts. Really? Then there was the press conference where Michael Collins said they couldn't see any stars.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Then, in his own book published in 1994, he waxed poetic about how breathtaking the stars looked from the lunar surface. Brilliant, endless, sharper than anything he'd ever seen. Let's face facts. Everything that was done 50 years ago is 1,000 times cheaper and easier to do today. Are we actually expected to believe that we went to the moon in this piece of shit 50 years ago? I've seen homeless encampments on Skid Row that have more insulation. I've seen Met Gala costumes that look sturdier than that. No wonder people are waking up.
They say, oh, well, it could be because of the topography, and it could. It could also be more than one light source, and that's more likely. When you got a shadow going like this and a shadow going like that, well, we know we went to the moon, so let's come up with another explanation. Let's not assume we went to the moon, and let's look at that and say, is that the sun, or is that multiple light sources at close range? There's videos that it looks like they're bouncing around on trampolines. The physics are not the same in Apollo 11 as they are on Apollo 15 and 16. All of a sudden, they can cover great distances. They're doing these weird, giant, long leaps that they weren't doing before. The whole thing's weird. It's
really
also
weird.
during a time where they were completely full of shit about everything.
You had 3 networks.
They lied about the Gulf of Tonkin incident that led us into Vietnam. They lied about who killed JFK. They lied about everything.
MK Ultra.
Everything. Charles Manson. Everything was bullshit. All of it was bullshit. Operation Northwoods. There was all these things that were going on at the same time. So it's like they were more than accustomed to lying. Why would they tell the truth and nothing but the truth about this one thing?
NASA's own people are openly admitting Apollo was a Cold War psyop. The footage faked. The rocks terrestrial. The whole damn triumph scripted. They're not even hiding it anymore. And when you hear the exact words Vladimir Putin dropped about America's moon lie, the one that made the White House go radio silent, you'll finally understand why they've kept the truth buried for over half a century. Today's sponsor is ReliableMedicines.com. The price of medicine in America has skyrocketed in recent years, while the real cause for many illnesses and diseases continues to be suppressed. That's why I've partnered with ReliableMedicines.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. They deliver effective medicines straight to your door, such as ivermectin, zopiclone, hydroxychloroquine, fenbendazole, and painosoma, to name just a few. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to the type of medicines found at ReliableMedicines.com.
2 years ago, Joe Tippin says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippin says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off by using coupon code RM15 at the checkout. Please click the link below this video or call 256-664-4170 to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Let's think about this rationally. In 1969, we sent a tiny homeless tent covered in aluminium foil 250,000 miles away to a precise location, when even being 1/1000th of an inch off in any part of the launch would have caused the ship to miss the moon by thousands of miles. And yet, we landed it. We played golf with clubs somehow snuck into the craft without NASA's knowledge. And now, we can't even get humans past 1,000 miles above sea level. And now, the kill shot, straight from the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin asked point blank about Apollo. It was the greatest spectacle of the 20th century. America needed bread and circuses while her boys died in Vietnamese jungles. So they gave the world a circus on the moon. Pure Hollywood. The people cheered, the ratings soared, and nobody asked why the emperor was naked. Then the hammer. A Russian investigation fed the original 1969 footage into Google's latest AI forensic suite. Result? The AI stamped it fake. Synthetic imagery, composited frames, digital trickery. Watch Putin's reaction. He doesn't flinch. Just a cold half smile, like a man who's known the punchline for 50 years.
На этом фото ей кажутся не настоящими. В то же время вот фотография китайского лунохода у нее особенных вопросов не вызывает.
А это то, что кажется не настоящим?
Да, да, вот то, что красное.
Это как гугловская, не наша. Так, чтобы не было предвзятости никакой. Удивительно, но там точно вот она смотрит по очень много параметров, в том числе там падение светотеней и так далее, и показывает, что инкорпорирована фотография.
Right now, we're inside the biggest red pill moment in history. The moon lie is just a crack in the dam. Once it bursts, everything they've sold us, history, money, power, even reality itself, comes crashing down. That's why they're panicking. The harder they censor, the more desperate the smears, the faster people wake up. Every ban, every fact check, every erased tape is another alarm clock ringing. We're not just exposing one hoax, we're dismantling the entire control matrix. And here's what they don't want you to know. The VPN industry, that you were told was your protection, has been infiltrated and compromised. Industry leader Proton is funded and controlled by the World Economic Forum in Davos. The same people writing the digital ID laws and building a cage for humanity. And it gets worse. Many of the most popular VPNs in the world, ExpressVPN, CyberGhost, NordVPN and private internet access, were bought out by Cape Technologies, an Israeli company linked to Mossad, whose staff is packed with former cyber intelligence officials. These are the people you're paying to protect your privacy. It's not just a sick joke, it's a punchline, and they're laughing at you. But a breakthrough has arrived, one that changes everything. VP.net was created in 2025, built from the ground up to be verifiable, transparent, and unstoppable. Legacy VPNs say trust us not to log, trust us not to monitor you. VP.net says don't trust us, verify. Unlike legacy VPNs, every connection is protected by a mathematically verifiable cryptographic shield. So no third party, not even VP.net itself, can see or log your data. So if the government comes knocking, and trust me they do, VP.net has nothing to hand over. No logs, no user data, nothing. Even if somebody put a gun to their head, they'd walk away empty-handed. Head over to vp.net/TPV and see for yourself. It's fast, it's unhackable, and for our viewers, it's as low as $5.55 a month. A small price to stay protected on the new digital battlefield.
I won't get into that, but we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media.
Join the movement at vp.net/TPV. And here's the best part. Your membership doesn't just protect you, it helps fund the world's first open source, independently audited privacy network, powered by the people, not corporations. Join the movement at vp.net/TPV. Don't trust, verify.